I hope you can
Yeah.
see my screen.
Yes. All right. Good luck.
Thank you so much. So hello, everyone. I am Araina, and I'll be helping you figuring out how to communicate your story and be a more efficient storyteller. I wrote, directed, and acted in an online play which addressed the critical issue of public safety for women. The problem it addressed was the alarming lack of safety in public spaces for women, and which perpetuates feelings of fear, inhibition, and vulnerability for women in public spaces, which leads to a significant impact on their mental health. The play basically focused on promoting a concerted and unwavering commitment to transformative change and also instilling a feeling of solidarity amongst individuals so we could all together foster an environment where every woman is guaranteed safety and comfort. We'd also be talking about theater as an online tool for education and how it can be utilized effectively to communicate our ideas. The play I did had three scenes. Scene one was about women supporting women and combating harassment and assault. And such instances obviously include verbal abuse, catcalling, stalking, physical assault, public shaming that women unfortunately encounter on a distressingly regular basis. And scene two was about silencing catcalls and empowering women. And scene three was about the policy of love and violence. We collaborated with Chaitanya Kul and Think Sharp Foundation. The image is one of the messages that was shared by our mentor, Heidi ma'am, and it comprises of their feedback from watching the play. She also mentioned that our play sparked conversations, which was, again, something really, really close to my heart, because I felt really happy that they were discussing it even after watching the play. We presented in front of the children and we discussed various topics, which included their personal experiences with our theme, their questions, and talking about the other ways that women can protect themselves. Today, we'll be talking about 6 and 7 agendas. It's also a step-by-step way of how we can approach theater and how we can write our own scenes and direct our own plays. This slide is about an introduction to how you can tell your story. With digital education everywhere, theater has emerged as a very captivating online tool. We can now transcend physical boundaries. Even if our team members are not in the same city, we can communicate the same message online, just like we did. And for that, it is very important that we understand the basics of playwriting. We understand the impact that stage directions and scene descriptions have, and especially the visual aesthetics have on the conveying of our message. This paragraph communicates the importance of characters, dialogues, the costumes, the backgrounds, and each component, which plays a vital role in crafting a compelling theatrical experience. Third step would be identifying a theme. We all have certain ideas. What we can do is categorize them under a theme. For example, mine would lie under the theme of women empowerment. 3 potential avenues for theme selection can be social issues or causes, life skills promotions, or personal experiences and lifestyles. Addressing social issues through storytelling, it sparks dialogues, it raises awareness, while promoting life skills like tolerance and empathy cultivates personal growth. You can also draw from your personal experiences. For example, the 3 scenes that we focused on were from personal experiences of women. We were mainly focusing on communicating their stories as well as our stories. And this should resonate deeply with both you, who's writing the play, and also the intended audience, right? The next thing would be to assign yourself a certain time where we can do free writing, where we do not focus on grammar or spelling or structure. We just let our ideas take shape into words, kind of pen down whatever we want to communicate through our idea. Fourth step would be to now structure those ideas. One tool that can really help is a plot diagram. So once you have determined all your ideas that you need to use and all the components that you want to include, we can now lay them down in a logical sequence. Here's an example of a plot diagram that we can refer to. It includes exposition, rising action, climax, falling action, and resolution. Three steps that we should consider while doing this would be theme exploration, as mentioned before, idea generation, research and inspiration, and refinement and selection. For research and inspiration, we should take our own time to conduct a research and to understand what impact the chosen theme has on our targeted audience. Refinement and selection is after your brainstorming session, you want to review the generated plot ideas and identify those which align most with your chosen theme. Next thing comes to kind of visualize your story. Visualizing your story basically creates an immersive and impactful experience for the audience as well and communicates your idea in the most efficient way manner. So this is how you kind of identify the relation between your different scenes, which scene comes after which, how do we transform into different scenes, and what relation do they hold with each other. One thing that can help you achieve this is group discussion. Here are a few questions that you can consider talking about. For example, which ideas took you by surprise? And which ideas align best with our understanding of the target audience? It is very important, again, to understand the needs of your target audience. So for example, if it's kids, you'd want to use simpler language. If it's kids who are not very familiar with English, you'd want to use Hindi. For example, my team had Mudra and she was fluent in Marathi. So we personally asked her as well to communicate with them in Marathi because they would understand that much better than Hindi or English. What resources will be needed to implement your certain ideas? If you are using props, if you're using virtual backgrounds, what else would you need? These are all the other questions. How can we measure the idea of the success of the ideas? Is it corresponding with your targeted audience? Do you have the props to conduct it? Will it be effectively conveyed online or offline? And which ideas could be combined? Which ideas align best with our understanding of the target audience is very important as well. Then we start with writing your dialogues. This is where you consider your grammars, your structure, your content here really matters. You should write realistic dialogues. You should consider the personalities of your characters during this time. And if you have to, do not hesitate to obviously step into the shoes of the character. And you have to give your dialogues genuine emotion. If It's very important to consider the background of the characters as well. For example, someone walking on the street would not be communicating with another person in a more formal language. So using of slangs or daily communication or idioms can be really helpful in writing realistic dialogues. Next thing would be adding the dramatic effect. For example, in my play, I made sure they followed a format as in the end of the play, there was always an impactful dialogue that would resonate with the message of that particular scene. It would sum up what we're trying to communicate. It would, if some things have hidden messages or some things have been included, which basically comprises of or includes the comprehending from the audience, there are also chances the audience miss those dialogues, so which reiterate all that things is how I structured my play. You can always do that as well. I'd like to call it the dramatic effect because it might be responsible for the reason why the audience leaves the scene, or when they're going back home from watching your play, they think about it again, that they can, again, it can start discussions, it can start conversations. So that was the main purpose of adding a dialogue which kind of sums up the main essence of the scene, right? You can make it impactful. This also includes using your costumes effectively. Basically, it should reflect the personality of the character. So considering the background of the character, the essence of the character, the personality of the character is very important. You can use appropriate zoom backgrounds. For example, if your character is walking on the road, you can always add a view of the street side, or you can add bikes or cars. That's what we did. We used Google Meet backgrounds. We searched those up from the internet, we added them to a drive, and then we were using those. This can happen sometimes due to certain settings of the meetings. It happened with us was that the second time we did the play, Google did not allow us to upload our custom backgrounds. So in the very moment we were texting each other in between the scenes, okay, which one from the pre-provided backgrounds are we going to choose now? So it became a little hard, but you should think of all those things. By chance, because of the setting of the meeting, which you cannot control, Supposedly you're not able to add your custom backgrounds, then choose some from the predefined backgrounds as well, which will help you in the case of emergency. And such things, obviously communication with your team is very, very important. One such example is this as well. In the realm of online theater, utilizing appropriate Zoom backgrounds, it is very valuable to depict the settings of each scene, as said earlier. And when we incorporate virtual backgrounds that align with specific locations our characters are in, we create a more immersive experience for the audience, especially in an online play where it may be hard for the audience to understand where the play is or where it is situated. So basically, theater obviously provides a wealth of opportunities for your creative expression, for learning a lot, for engagement, for communication, collaboration. And by using the technology that we've had for a long time now, we can overcome our physical barriers. This ensures that you have audience which is much more wider than you would have if you were doing a street play. And you can always upload it online on YouTube channels, so you have so many more viewers who can understand your message, get your message. You're communicating with a wide range of audience that way. And basically you can embrace the power of theater as an educational tool. It allows you and gives you the power to inspire, to educate, to connect with others in meaningful ways, to utilize whatever idea you have in a purposeful way for the benefit of others. And that's how you can also make a change. And that was my experience, and that is this presentation is something that can help you navigate your way through theater and how you can communicate your story as well through collaboration. And with that, I've come to the end of this manual. Thank you so much.
Great job. I really enjoyed the presentation. Slides were very innovative and fun. You took us through the whole sequence of it. I think it was really informative for the audience. It was very clear that you really enjoyed the process and took a lot from it as well. I really liked your conclusion, like, because you took us through the whole process, but the conclusion, I think, was a lot on this was my experience and this is what I thought worked, and that you can use this tool for education. And it was a lot from your opinion, and I enjoyed that as well. Let's see if I made any other notes. Yeah, I mean, that's about it. I think it was a really thorough job. So really congratulations on this. I think you really conveyed to us the, the amount of work that you put into it and also how much you enjoyed it.